Good morning. I'm Eric Stuckey, Franklin City Administrator. And on behalf of the Franklin community, I want to thank you and tell you how honored we are to be with you and to be considered for All-America City recognition. In the brief time we have together today, we want to focus on a few aspects of Franklin's story as we work together to build a vibrant, inclusive, and caring community. Franklin is a historic city, founded in 1799 and the site of a major battle in the American Civil War. And we recognize that the way we talk about our history affects who we are today, but more importantly, who we aspire to be in the future. And like many towns in the South, we have a Confederate monument in our city square. In the wake of the Charlottesville tragedy in 2017, our city, our community came together to discuss how we could tell our story more authentically, more inclusively, something we now call the Fuller story. With me now is Eric Jacobson, a historian and the CEO of the Battle of Franklin Trust. Eric, tell us about the initiative, Fuller Story Initiative, and how it came about.
Well, the Fuller Story, as Eric mentioned, began in the aftermath of the tragic events at Charlottesville, and I and several others got together and wanted to try and prevent anything like Charlottesville from happening in our streets and to our town. The Battle of Franklin was a horrific event that really reshaped this community, but for almost 120 years, much of the story right here in the square revolved solely around the Confederate monument. And I and others were aware that there was a tremendous other rich history that deserved to be told, and much of it had been ignored for a long time. In fact, much of it had been erased. And this African-American story, enslaved people, freed people, striving to have their place at the table, we felt was very important. And because of issues with ownership, who owned what, state laws, we decided that we wanted to, instead of tear something down, we wanted to put something up. And we felt that this was the best path for our town. We also feel that it could be a model for other communities to confront their past and to understand what it means to our future. Was there opposition? Yes, there were people who thought the monument should go. There were others who thought nothing should be added. But we worked with a wide variety of people in the community, our partners at the Heritage Foundation, the African American Heritage Society, Carter House, Carnton, and our greatest partner, the City of Franklin, in trying to create a vision for the present and for the future to include all elements of this great American experiment. And so we proudly unveiled a series of interpretive markers in the fall of 2019, which helped tell this African-American story and how people once enslaved were freed by the war and how they struggled in the years after. And so that's really the first step. And now I'd like to let you see some of the great moments from that day last October.
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt.
I stand here today to let you know that Franklin, Tennessee will be known for being the birthplace of the Fuller Story.
This is your history. This is all of our history. It belongs to all of us. All of us. And as I look out on this crowd, I can see countless people's faces whose history has too long been ignored.
I pray that the example we provide today to our world, a world that is far too focused on division and difference, will take note. We accept one another. We humbly tell the Fuller story that honors all of us and builds a better community. Thank you.
That was a great day, an important day, but the work continues. With me now is another one of the founders of the Fuller Story Initiative, Pastor Chris Williamson. Chris, tell us what's next.
Thank you, Eric. As I stand here in the center of our city square, just behind me is our historic courthouse. And during the Civil War, that actual courthouse stood, and the Union Army occupied that courthouse. And when they occupied it, they put a provost office in the basement of that courthouse. And slaves from all over the region escaped, came to this courthouse, went into that basement to gain their paperwork, to become soldiers in the United States Army. And when they went in slaves, they came out soldiers so that they could go to Nashville and join the Federal Army. I mean, I tell you, that is amazing. And so I'm so excited that next year, around Juneteenth weekend, we're going to place a statue of a United States colored troop soldier right in front of that historic courthouse. This is phenomenal. You see, we're going to make this statue about 7 feet tall so that those who come and visit our city can look that soldier in his eye and see his value, his dignity, and his worth. And I want to thank every donor in our community who helped us reach our goal of $150,000 in order to fund this project. And we did it in a matter of months. And I also want to thank our mayor, our board of aldermen who stood behind the Fuller Story project unanimously. We couldn't have done it without them. So we are excited because this project is bringing our city together.
And bringing together is what we're all about. And one of our major partners in doing that, and our partner in the All America City application, is Franklin Tomorrow. And we work to bring our community together in so many ways. And I want to throw it to Mindy Tate, Executive Director of Franklin Tomorrow, to tell you some more aspects of Franklin's work together. Mindy?
Thanks, Eric. I'm Mindy Tate, Executive Director of Franklin Tomorrow. We're up here in East Spaces above the square with Franklin Mayor Ken Moore and our Franklin Tomorrow Board Chair, Alina Bell. Alina, come this way. So Franklin Tomorrow's mission is to engage the community, foster collaboration, and advocate for a shared vision for the future of Franklin. We do that by being a partner with the City of Franklin in a number of events, but also with a number of other organizations and through some of the events that we hold. Tell us a little bit about how we work together with the community.
For the last 20 years, we have been coming together and bringing our community members with us as we have events like Breakfast with the Mayors and Frank Talks, as well as initiatives like Get Fit Franklin, Walk with the Mayor, and On the Table. And speaking of On the Table, we had over 1,000 members come together and from 30 different zip codes just to dine with each other, have conversation, and get to know each other. Something rare.
Thanks so much, Alina. Mayor Moore, you are active in our events like Breakfast with the Mayors, but you really like Get Fit Franklin. The health of our community is important. Why?
Well, absolutely. The health of our community is important because a healthy workforce is a very productive economy. This was brought to our attention through Governor Haslam. We were named a healthier community, and we determined 4 different parameters that were important to us as far as the health of the community.
Tell us what those 4 parameters are before we see a video.
Obesity, tobacco cessation, activity, and lastly, mental health initiatives.
Well, we're going to watch a video about some of the activities and events of Franklin Tomorrow in partnership with the city and other organizations. We'll roll the video. Franklin Tomorrow is a community visioning organization. We've been around for over 15 years, and so On the Table seemed like an easy way and a fun way to bring people together. One of the great things about On the Table is it's centered around food, a dining experience, and once you introduce food into a meeting, it becomes a gathering, and people tend to relax and feel more comfortable to share their ideas and share their thoughts.
Franklin Tomorrow is a visioning organization for our community that visions that better health in our community makes better employees and helps companies be more productive. And this is an important initiative that me as the mayor and also Franklin Tomorrow are working on to promote health in our community. And part of getting healthy is getting out and being more active.
Thanks for that video. Mayor, we sure had a lot of fun back in those days when we could all be together for those events, but we're looking forward to being able to do that again. But it really stresses how communities work together to take care of each other, right? Through programs like Get Fit, Find Hope Franklin. Why are you so involved in the health of our community?
Well, being a physician, number one, but again, it's important that we have a healthy workforce. You know, we have lots of companies here, and they want the healthiest, most productive workers that they can have. And a healthy workforce is very productive.
And it creates a happy community, right?
Well, I think if you watch that Walk More with the Mayor video, you're going to see a lot of smiles and people having a lot of fun and learning who each other is.
Thanks so much. And we are so excited to have been nominated, Franklin, and we are so excited to be part of the All America City contest this year. We're ready to take your questions, and we're ready to tell you what it means to be a Franklinite.